This is Friday Night Rugby, National Collegiate Rugby's Friday night edition, a Green Mountain State battle in Northfield, Vermont. Two unbeatens, Norwich and Vermont. With the mischief and mayhem of Halloween on a damp and chilly night, Matt McCarthy here with Lance Kavanaugh for this key D2 match. The 10th-ranked Norwich Cadets versus the 4th-ranked Vermont Catamounts. Lance, aside from the odd Halloween pun, what can fans expect tonight?
Both of these teams at the top of their conference and need to be tested. What better way to kick off the weekend and kick off the end of this regular season with two of the best in D2. This is going to be a great matchup.
Yeah, man, and statistically speaking, to this point, Vermont 5-0, scoring 435 points while allowing just 15 for a point differential of 420 points. That is crazy. And on the other side, look at their last 5 matches. 98-0 versus Coast Guard, 117-5 versus UMass Lowell, just annihilating the competition. And that's one of the things that these two teams haven't really been tested. And on the Norwich side of things, really good stats as well. They've scored 199 points, only allowing 17, a point differential of 182, which makes this win very important for them to achieve tonight because of that statistic thing going on with the playoffs. Also, their last 5 matches, lopsided wins, but not as lopsided as Vermont's. But look, poor Coast Guard, 63-0 again, 50-12 over New Hampshire. It's just one lopsided win after the next for these two teams. And part of that tonight is going to be Joey Whiteside. He is the number 10 engineering student. He's going to try to engineer a win for the Cadets tonight, a much-needed win for the hosts. Just taking a peek at the rosters, let's start with the hometown Norwich Cadets. Shermer, the freshman, Schwartz, and Mamaro, both seniors up front. Keep an eye on Papaladaro and also Peterson at number 8. Very good players.
And really is what's going to be the key of this matchup is the connection between sophomore Brandon Smith and the engineer man himself, Joe Whiteside. In the centers, you have Janda and Kerr. Both of them have big work to do with the wingers Kelly and Hoffman having to control the outside of this pitch and need to make space for the Guam Mesa. He spent 3 years playing for Guam, and now he's here defending the home turf and in the regular season.
That's right. And then looking at the visiting Vermont Catamounts, you look at the hooker, and he says he's missing. That's actually his name. It's Harry missing. We hope he shows up tonight. He's a good player. But also you got Warble, the captain. He is dynamite. And watch out for Wrestler, the number 7, on the flank.
Now this Vermont side and the backs are uniquely particular. Freshman James McGovern is going to hold things down at the scrum half, giving it to the senior Tevnan. In the middle of the field is Casper and Burnett, also both seniors. Wingers, Race and Rice, senior and graduate student. And the fullback, Colin Green, the freshman. Everyone's going to have to gel because this team's going to have to show up for one of the biggest tests of the year.
And engineering these two teams, or captaining these two teams, are the coaches, Bob Wegler, who's in his 25th year. Amazing. He says this is the youngest side that he's had so far in that 25 years. And Joey Bessel, he and his fellow coaches, all rugby alumni at Vermont, all played together, as a matter of fact. So this is a great matchup of two seasoned coaches with different styles. All right, our referee, Butu Matthews, for this contest. Sabine Stadium. It's not grass, it's turf, so despite the rain, it should be okay for the players. It's a light kind of misty rain.
You're good.
But no problem for these two teams. They're used to some foul weather up in Vermont. And getting us underway will be High Mesa. And he puts it high in the air. Norwich in red. Vermont in the green and black.
Stay here.
Digging it out of the first breakdown. Some forward progress.
Run back!
Interesting maneuvers by the back line, receiving that ball and then booting it downfield. That could be a good opportunity for a counterattack from the Cadets. And they choose to kick it away. Taken nicely under pressure by number 11, Luca Race. Now Vermont, oh, there's a big hit right there. Wrestler taken to the ground. Thunderous hit from the Cadets. And now the Catamounts. There's the big number 8. We'll hear a lot about him, Roman Leger. And now Vermont just kind of bowling their way forward for a good tackle, dominant tackle going back the other way. McGovern digs it out, feeds one of his forwards again. Here's McGovern again. Tevnin, the number 10, spinning it. And it's almost picked off, but not. And now rambling down is Harry Missing. And he's taken into touch. There's a lot of lines there, folks, but we'll walk you through them. It'll be a line out to Norwich. Good defense, Lance.
That collection of play, that minute and 30 seconds, showed the level of physicality we might see throughout this match. Vermont able to gain big meters off the kick, able to get the ball back again, and with the space on the outside, floats it over, and an opportunity for an interception try potentially for Norwich, but couldn't get their hands on it. Line out for Norwich. Great opportunity to clear lines.
That's right. And here's number 2.
That's fine. Rocked off.
Duran Schwartz with the throw in. Norwich controls it. Now they look for a little exit kick, relieve some pressure in their own end. They kick it deep. It stays in. Doesn't go into touch. So now here comes the Catamounts. A great run.
Not held.
By Colin Green. Surprising everybody, including me, McGovern. Using those forwards, getting some critical yards. Forward progress, always good early. But now driven into touch again, Norwich able to take the ball carrier out of bounds.
And Vermont's got to keep away from that touch line, have great opportunities on the attacking end of the field. But if you give this Norwich opportunities more and more, they're clearing their space, they're getting away from their try line more and more. But Vermont able to really put some physical dominance early on in this match, but just got to stay away from the ends.
Contact with the jumper.
There's a penalty, our first penalty of the match, and it's awarded to the Cadets. And it will be the fly half, Tevnin. Norwich splits the kicking duties up a little bit. They have one guy kicking the drop kicks, one guy kicking for post, one guy kicking for touch. So we'll watch that as the night goes on. The rain is a little bit heavier now.
Here's your mark, boys. Edge of the hash.
There's a great take in that lineup. Great image. And you can see that rain coming down. Here's Schwartz. Doran Schwartz, the captain of this Norwich side. And there's a great drive off the line out. Look at them go downfield, and suddenly, with a spurt, Norwich now showing some forward progress, some of that momentum that seemed to be all Catamounts until this point. There's a bad pass, though, and it's fielded by the Vermont visitors. Dancing in some traffic, that's number 14. Colin Zan Rice, and there's a penalty, high tackle called, taking the quick tap, little youthful exuberance, he's going to go back to the mark.
On the neck.
Yeah, referee couldn't get their eyes on it. Matthews couldn't see it, got to bring it back. And he's really been punctual on safety, the pull down on the line out earlier, that high tackle. Looks like we're going to have a safe contest as well as a fast one.
Yes, sir.
Here's Tevnin's kick. Oh, it's a good one. It's going to march him downfield. There it is again, Lance.
It's right here in that contact, right at the very end.
Here's your mark.
Unable to really get lower than the ball carrier and grab that what he could. But if you touch the neck and head, referees are going to be on top of that. Great call by Matthews.
All right, here's our line out. Here's one of those rare occasions where you have the wing, Zan Rice, throwing it in the line out. And they're lucky to corral it. Looks like McGovern at the bottom of that pile for the Catamounts. Lance, I'll quiz you on what a Catamount is later. Ball's out. One of the big boys in the middle of the pitch. You always hate to see that if you're an opposing tackler. Legere with a rumble out of Belmont, Massachusetts.
That's fine.
McGovern.
Advantage.
There's Hank Beeling with a carry, the prop. It's turned over, and here comes Norwich the other way. And there's unfortunate for Norwich. Great turnover and penalty earned by the Catamounts.
Captain, I call advantage over. You're getting enough ground.
Just a back and forth battle. Knocked on going into the tackle. Vermont find themselves extended. Needed to get across defensively, make sure the ball didn't find the space. And just as fast as they turned it over and the advantage was played out, Vermont able to get two hands on the ball, not releasing, and now kicking the ball closer to the try zone, right around the 22 and just inside the 22. Great bit of attack for Vermont and great opportunity.
Sophie, you're going to get
Lance, they've got to be careful with the ball, right? It's got to be slippery out there. You got that greasy ball. Focus on that first. You can't score without the ball. And there's Rice again with the throw.
Step back.
He's a grad student in psychology out of Cambridge, Massachusetts. But there's the big number 6, Terry Dunn. Taking a crack, but it's turned over again. And right in the pile is that man we talked about earlier, Papaladaro. New England Free Jacks draft choice in the MLR, and it'll be a line out to the Cadets.
And I mean, again, the line-out situations for both teams have been very explosive. Norwich earlier with a maul that got them forward. And right here, Vermont, great opportunity inside and around the 5-meter line, but unable to keep possession of the ball.
Okay, back.
The rain is really affecting this matchup.
Lance, I think the Cadets might have gotten away with a head to a knee to the head on the end of that. But nonetheless, it's turned back over. So far, it's a series of turnovers. This time, Vermont has it, and they're getting closer to that try line, and they're going to get our first score of the night. They are, and it's Harry Misting. He showed up. What a try.
What a bit of face play from this Vermont side. Able to get momentum going, and once they got the ball to the middle of the field, the space opened up. Missing was found and found himself getting 5 points. As you can see, Tervanen just gets the ball out. There's not real much to it, but the space is there, and once this man had a head of steam, he found himself showing everyone who he really was. Missing, never again, 5 points, and just an inside-out step, and able to get back inside. Great bit of play. You can see the energy getting that 5 points early for his squad.
And there's the conversion. It's up, and it is good. Well done by Tevnin. So 7-zip. And I guess it's Halloween, so we could say that maybe Norwich didn't see him. Maybe that he was the invisible man on that play. And here it is again.
The ghost of Christmas past shows up, just over pursuing. One thing Norwich has shown throughout this match early on is they will bring line speed defensively, but it definitely has to match inside and out. You can't have space in the middle of the field where more players are shooting up further and faster than the inside. The space was there, and Missing shows up. 5 for the Vermont guys.
All right, Mesa gets us restarted, as you mentioned earlier, from Guam. From Guam to Vermont. Go figure. Only in college rugby, right? There's a spill ball backwards. And now it's Vermont again, trying to work it out of their end. Harry Lloyd takes it to the ground, the number 5. The burly front rower taking it.
Step back.
And he stopped. Nice kick to clear. Was it tapped? We'll find out. And it goes into touch. Whose line out will it be?
Sir.
Not touched.
Sir, number 5.
And you can get a look at that rain and the touch judge's flag, the assistant referee's flag. It is wet down there, folks.
Here's your mark. Here's your mark, Green. Okay.
And there it's sloppy, but it's taken by Norwich and dropped.
Advantage.
Playing the advantage. There's Wrestler on the outside. Can Wrestler win the race? He's got one man to beat. Oh, a good tackle. Well done. The fly half making the tackle. The man we talked about in the pregame, Joe Whiteside, showing he can play a little defense.
How many guys?
And you see that shot, all the rain, precipitation, just couldn't get clean handle on the ball. And the worst nightmare is when it bounced immediately to an on-waiting defender. And this foot race could have turned into 5. Quinn Wrestler could have been in, scoring 5 for his side, but great cover tackle by Whiteside.
And also, fans, if go to the Catamounts website and check out the picture of Quinn Wrestler and his profile picture. It's worth your look. Trust me. There's a clearing kick by Norwich, and it's a good one. Puts the Catamounts on their heels, but now they're clawing forward. Left-footed kick downfield. That's a good one. Is it too much? He might have overcooked it. Oh, and it sits perfectly for him. So now he's going to run it out of his own end. A little boot in the air from Mesa. We got a little aerial ping pong and counterattacks, little of everything. It's kind of like what's in that candy box outside your door. McGovern.
Stay.
Taking his time, gets it out, finally. Here's Lloyd. McGovern again to Tevnin. Wrestler holds on to it. And that's not easy with that rain. You don't really see it as well in the wide shot because we have a crack crew with our next level production team. But those tight, now you can see it with the tighter shot.
And I believe Vermont is definitely going to lean on the boot. Every time they find themselves inside of their own 50, they've elected to go for the kick, and it's been working well for them as far as space, making explosive plays, all turnovers and such. Vermont has a goal in mind, and they want to play on Norwich's end of the field.
You know, Lance, Norwich has a great facility. They got 2 grass pitches, and they're not playing on it tonight. And I think it's unfortunate because on Halloween they have a nickname for it called the Graveyard. But it would be, a tough match in all the mud and puddles if we were playing there. But it would be cool. But here's the line out again.
We counted it earlier in the game, so this is your mark. Hookers take charge.
Seems though we have a knock on. I couldn't see it from our vantage point, but Matthews has been on the case really well so far in this matchup as a center ref, so we'll take his word for it. Now we have a scrum down for Vermont.
And that scrum down will be initiated by the number 9, James McGovern, the business administration major. He has a dog named George, for folks at home wondering. And now it's a penalty. It looks like wheeling or dragging it down. You can't do that, dragging the scrum down, and it's a penalty to Norwich.
Yeah, you see the excitement of this Norwich side. The immediate whistle, an eruption for these fellas. They definitely had a thought in mind to make sure they dominate these scrums. And the early penalty now, with the ref looking on, could really put them in a great position as this matchup continues.
And there's a kick, and that goes into touch. There's another look, Lance.
Right now, the body height's fine. Everything's good, but the 8 is in the back trying to pull at the ball, and unfortunately just brought some of his second row guys a little bit lower, changed their body composition, and they just couldn't hold the pressure and the weight.
We got a little equipment issue down there. Don't look too long because those socks will blind you, folks, of Norwich.
Dan, you're good there?
I mean, they're not going to get lost in bad weather, I'll tell you that.
All right, you're on.
Am I wrong, Lance?
I mean, not at all.
Wow. I'm blinking. All right. Well done to hold on to that on that almost drop pass by Whiteside. He's been influential, as we pointed out earlier. But there's a nice run. That looks like the 13, Aiden Kerr. And it's a whistle, not releasing. You got to get rid of that ball on the ground. And it'll be a penalty to Vermont.
And that was well worked. I think that was Harry Lloyd who found himself definitely in the middle of some action. It looks like Norwich maybe researched that work correctly, but just couldn't keep players on their feet. And the opportunity, a second bite at the apple was right in front of him, was able to get 2 hands on the ball. The tackles there, you see Harry at the bottoms getting up, but everyone over Ruggs. He stands on his feet. There's no one there. The ball is out. Now, whether or not he's on his side of the ball is one thing, but.
All right, there's Rice.
Stolen.
Is that stolen?
Green out of there, green.
It looks like it's been poached. Yes. Wow. Rice looked like he had it. He was on the turf. He was trying to present it, but it was stolen by Norwich. Great play by the Cadets. Let's see if they can even this one up. We'll spin outside. There's a good run, but a good tackle on Janda. Now the Cadets trying to, crack that defense, get by that green wall. This is the Battle of Vermont, after all. Both teams undefeated, 5-0 coming in. And regardless of who wins tonight, they play again next weekend. Rice on defense. Holds the jersey long enough for a tackle to come in by his lock, number 4.
Away green, 7, out of there.
Jack Warbell. Wide side. Feeds Lloyd. Wide side again with a little kick. Bounces once into touch.
Back here.
And it will be a line out. Oh, it's going back. It was a penalty, or an advantage being played, rather. So we'll go back. Check that. Ball went directly into touch, so that's why it's coming back to the spot from where it was kicked.
Here you go.
And look at the defensive pressure from Vermont. Able to fight for multiple phases. Norwich kicking the ball away. A little mistake, and now Vermont in the attacking situation they prefer.
That's right. And now let's see what they can do with it. It was kind of a gift there. You don't normally see that. There's a big rumble from number 5, Harry Lloyd, out of Guilford, Connecticut. And there's another whistle.
Second by red. First knock.
A series of knock-ons.
Yeah, and these collisions right here is what this matchup is all about. Big man on little man with some help from the opposite number 5, able to clean up that tackle, but the weather is really affecting everything that's happening in this matchup. We probably won't see as expansive and wide game as we were expecting, but this is a good test for both teams, so I'm going to expect a hard match either way.
And how about a round of applause for our fans braving the weather out there on Halloween night. That's a good crowd we got going on there as the ball's pushed backwards, but Norwich able to maintain. Oh, it's dropped by Norwich, and now countering. Here come the Catamounts. But John McGovern, I'll find it. McGovern does well to corral that ball and keep the possession for Norwich under the gun.
Five and 7.
Now it's Norwich.
Okay, thank you.
They're going to get a little bit of an exit kick.
Touch!
And it was touch, says the referee. So here comes Vermont. Passes are high. Taking a little long, but a nice stiff arm and a good run from number 11. Luca Race. He's still not done. Finally gets it to the ground. Here's McGovern. Getting to the breakdown. Tebnan gets it outside, but it's dropped. Knock-on advantage being played, says the referee. So continue on, and it goes into touch, but it will come back and be a scrum down for Vermont.
That passage of play was absolutely madness.
That is not gain on number 5, red, knocking the
Luca
ball.
Race finding space. What an amazing run down our near side touchline. Able to swing the ball to the open side, and once the man had it, he had try on his mind. Finn there, inside step, and to get off of 2 defenders here, just the toughness. The dummy to hold another defender, right foot step, and he's still on his feet, and that set everything up, giving Colin Green an opportunity on the back end to almost walk in to try for this Vermont side. Luca did the race and almost gave Vermont an easy try, but able to weather the storm of the knock-on. So now they have a great scrumming opportunity either way.
You know, it's easy from up here, not in the rain, right? We're in the booth, but had that pass been on the money and he had not to wait for it, take a step back, he might have been in that try zone. But now look at this. This is another burly, bruising run from Justin Casper.
Stay.
A.K.A. the Ghost. Just writes itself, Lance.
Stay.
McGovern digs it out. Oh, look at the hits coming in from the cadets. Wow.
Use the line.
They are just smashing each other in tight. Tebden wants to grow at it as well. He gets it to Wrestler. The knock on, though, I don't think he was expecting it. I think he faked out his potential ball carrier teammates, and it was offside instead was the call. So up too fast, playing defense for the cadets. So it'll be a penalty. And what do you do here, Lance? Do you kick?
Yeah, we take the points for post, but I think Vermont is feeling enthusiastic. They're going for it.
They just said, heck no, we're taking the ball. We want more. We want 7.
That's fine. He picked up the ball.
Youth. There's number 4. Jack Warabell, the captain of the forwards. He's a force. And now in tight, you might see some of those bigger bodies. Oh, no stretching it to try. He got it in. He caught everybody by surprise. A spooky, scary try for the Catamounts.
You've been hit by a smooth criminal. The tackle was on the try line, able to just push the ball back less than a meter from the try line. And with the ruck already established, James McGovern, the freshman, puts 5 on for his team. And how's he do it? Just by having a presence of mind and knowing where the space is, knowing where the line is. It's right there. He sees it now. The ball's taking so long to get out, but all he needed was a quick touch, and boom. 5 points for Vermont.
Lance, do you think that with the amount of lines on the field, he might have been confused? You know, I mean, the defense.
I mean, they have to know.
There's a lot of lines on that.
They have to know situationally. You just got to have the presence of mind and know you were on the try line. But it's seeing how they were lined up and how energetic they were to fire off the ball. They had to know. But McGovern knew a little bit more. 5 for him and his team.
All right, here's Tebden. Tebden having a good night from the tee despite the rain. Well done, and they double their lead, 14-zip.
And that beats my prediction to go for the kick, right? I was saying go for points earlier, but McGovern had better ideas, and so did this Vermont side. The phases before to get that close to the try line were heavy runs by Casper. He's not disappearing at the moment, the senior from New Jersey. And James McGovern, the business administration, I want him to negotiate deals for me because he'll find the loopholes and get me points.
Oh, you're good. You're good. There's Mesa getting us restarted again. And now Vermont, they look like they got a little bit of get up in them right now. Little extra. They're playing downhill right now.
He attempted.
Line is kind of flat defensively for Norwich, so they're going to kick it over the top. And it sails at the touch. Not the distance that he wanted, and they do turn the ball over, but they've gotten out of their end a little bit more.
And this is Norwich's best opportunity they've probably had throughout the match. They had a maul set up earlier in this almost same location. With the success they had with that, I'm assuming they'll go maul at least for a bit and bring the ball out wide. They haven't really gave their backs the real opportunity to attack.
On both sides.
All right, some instruction from referee Matthews.
Okay.
There's the throw-in. And it is taken by the Cadets. Cadets in red.
Advantage.
Catamounts in green, and it's spilled, but it's spilled backwards. No, it's not. It's going to be a knock-on. Unfortunate handling error. And a scrum down and a turnover to Vermont.
And that's the second handling error from the ball just being placed a little bit behind. One hand just to try to corral it, and unfortunately couldn't get control of the ball. And you see the space that the Cadets have on the bottom side of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. There was opportunity there, but just unable to put the handling errors in check. This rain is really causing calamity for both sides.
Coach!
Yeah, you know, Coach Regler had said prior when I spoke to him that he was concerned about his younger players coming up too soon, coming up too fast, that exuberance. And there was a case where maybe Jonda should have been further back and waited for that pass. There's a kick from Tevnin. Let go right into the hands of Mesa, who darts back and forth. Good in traffic, maintains the ball. Textbook way to take a kick under pressure, especially in the rain.
Boston in! Outside, brought in!
There's another kick downfield. Right into the hands, though, of Vermont. Nice counterattack, and here they come again. Colin Green, I beg your pardon. Yes, Colin Green.
Sorry for the cuss words there.
McGovern now. Are they looking for their third try?
Not held!
Here we go, we're right by that line. Just like that, here comes McGovern again. To his freshman tight head, loose head prop. Will O'Shea, the senior nursing student, beg your pardon, with a try, and just like that, their third try of the match, Lance.
Colin Green started everything off on that kick return. You cannot kick the ball to the center of the field if you are so deep on your own end. It's best to put the balls to the touch lines, but Colin finds a space, slows it down off of the right, has the speed to get through and past 3 extra defenders, breaking another tackle. Opportunity to score a try there if his hands was free, but a few phases later, Will McShay gets 5 on the day with the spin and in. They couldn't bring him down. All they can do is hang on to the man from Massachusetts, the nursing major.
And Tevnin, no surprise, the kick is up. The flags go up, the kick is good. And he's perfect on conversions, 21-0.
And you just got to show respect to the catch, having to reach back, already going at such a speed, able to control the ball. And I don't know if that reach helped, but that just helped the momentum for him to spin and spin again and put the ball in. Will O'Shea take a bow. And it looks like this Vermont side has found themselves very comfortable early in this first 30 minutes of this matchup, putting up 3 tries unanswered, and they've done it just with tenacity, really.
Yes, and just one other further note about O'Shea, our try scorer. He wants to own a donkey.
Backwards.
So maybe after scoring that try, he can do a GoFundMe thing, because he did well, and people will reward him with a donkey after all. That's a legit note from the team.
Stop, clock.
That's going to be a high tackle.
Clock off.
Let's listen to what the ref has to say here. I mean,
so number 5, Red. Mm-hmm. He was not even the bodyguard. He was the guard bodyguard. He was the first defender. I think he had plenty of time to get low. He never did. Okay. And the tackle was high. All right. It's not high degree of danger, but I think it's still a yellow.
Okay, I was screened off, so I couldn't see it. Okay. So it's on your call. Okay. Your logic sounds good.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you, Captain. Number 5.
Ooh, and a huge blow.
So you weren't the first player or the second player, the guard or the bodyguard, poster pillar. You were the third player. You had plenty of time to get low. You never did. You got him high. I'm saying it's a low degree of danger, so I'm not going to apply a red card, but it's yellow. Okay?
That's cool.
Thanks. You're off.
Thanks, sir.
All right, so Lance, that's Tejon Hammonds. And, in his defense, this is his 4th week of playing rugby.
1 second, boys, 1 second.
He's also a member of the Norwich cheerleading squad. Not kidding. So this is only this 4th week of him playing rugby.
Right there.
And, I mean, you got to give respect to the sir in the middle. Said he was blocked off, body blocked. Leaned to his assistant referee, Rob Bliss, able to make the call, articulated well. I agree with that yellow card. He had time to get lower, just didn't. And now Norwich already down 21 points, down a player. Can they find a way to get shorthanded points?
You're good right there, sir.
It's going to be a tough
ending
of this half for them, for sure.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they react to this.
Okay.
It is a young squad out there, after all. So they're going to have to be disciplined to overcome that lack of discipline. And there's a big run again from Vermont. And there's a big open space and into the open. Here comes number 8, Legere. And now the number 12 again, Casper. takes it to the ground. And there's a big fight, and there's going to be a penalty awarded to Norwich. Got to let go of that ball. Casper held on to it.
I mean, in both cases, we're really watching Vermont find them confidence. Everyone's running hard. Everyone's running forward, but just found itself with no real space. It looks like the tackler might have been away enough to where you don't call not rolling away. Ball carrier fighting on the ground to protect the ball. No ref is going to allow that. And Norwich able to bend but not break. Tackle there. Does tackler roll away? Marginal. Tough to call, but Norwich able to defend themselves.
Looked like his teammate was clearing him out. And the line out is taken by Norwich. Here's Smith. Mesa with a little dummy and keeps it and gets the pass off. And now Norwich, even though they're shorthanded, marching down the field, but a tough pass to handle, and he wants some help from the assistant referee. He's not going to get it, and it goes into touch, and it'll be a line out.
Time!
John Kelly with an amazing opportunity down that far side touch. Try to get the ball away, looking for a way to just move the ball away. He found himself so close to the touch line, but in his delivery of the pass, puts it into touch himself. And with that, we have a break in action, a player down.
Time's off.
But I mean, looks like they can make the most opportunities. That pass there to get this line break, and he found himself staying down, sacrificing himself to get the team going forward. I can't get a number from our vantage point, but just high energy for Norwich. It looked like they were having themselves an opportunity, unable to capitalize on it. Once he hit the ground, you could tell he was reaching for that shoulder.
Yeah, that's Mesa handling that they're addressing.
They need Mesa.
Yeah, they don't want to lose any more players, certainly. And he is a pivotal one back there at that fullback position, and his experience playing overseas. But I'm wondering if they had to get the shoulder back in place. That's always fun, Lance, when the shoulders come out. And you got to do it immediately. You don't want to, you got to pop it back in while you're on the pitch if you can. And I know I've had teammates that would pop their shoulders in themselves and continue playing.
Well, you guys too.
Here's another look at it.
But just that offload with the right arm and that same arm on the ground after the offload just gets caught. Forearm goes down first. Bumped into a little bit by another defender from the Vermont side, trying to get over to the tackle. Gets it away to John Kelly, but just unable to get up and continue playing. Immediately after that, we're going to have to figure out, is he going to be able to continue, or will he have to make that decision that, his day is over?
And Lance, from a coaching standpoint, too, you have to consider that you're playing them again next week, right? So do you err on the side of caution in this one, which isn't exactly a must-win game?
Yeah, you have to look for it. Both of these teams are 1-2 in a conference that 1-2 goes to the playoffs. At least that's from my understanding and research. So if that's the case, you want to make sure you got your team tested and prepared, and everyone's fresh when it's time for those real meaningful games.
And they can get home field advantage. It won't be a neutral playing site for the playoffs, so there is that incentive. But right now you're 21 points down, and you're also down a man. So right now it's damage control and not losing players. And you kind of get the feeling that Vermont sensing that, but no, don't tell that to the Norwich defender that just took the big guy out into touch. Great play.
Oh, he's into this game. He's locked in 100%. This is his no tomorrow moment. As Vermont just throwing the ball just a little behind, and what should be bully ball right there for the big man of Vermont, able to take on bodies, but the winger dragging players off of the pitch, and the line out for Norwich, and they got the ball going again.
That was Y-track. the number 7 for Norwich with that big defensive play against a bigger man. Here's Janda.
He's down. He's down.
He's dragged forward on the ground. Just when they had something going, they get a penalty. Well done by Vermont.
I gotta take a second look at that one. It didn't look like he was very well established over the ball. Releases there, hands on. Argument could be made in either direction. He had hands on the ball in the pool before the ruck was formed, but you do got to keep your body weight into the ruck and through the ruck contest. That's just unfortunate for Norwich, who had a great opportunity going forward. Tackle made. There is a release. There is space. He did make a pool before the ruck was formed. Got to keep your feet, though. But in that situation, it was enough for a penalty to get it.
Sophie got front.
You make a good argument. You do, but it's specious at best because the only one that matters is what the referee says. And here's the line out. McGovern. No, now into space again. Hammonds.
Not held.
Lloyd. McGovern digs it out. They've got numbers on the outside. Now Norwich gets back in defense. You're just tuning in. Norwich in red, down a man for the yellow card. They are also down 21 points and looking to pad that lead. Here comes Missing. Can he get his second? He's getting close. There's Tevnin. Tevnin looking to Casper. And Casper in for the try.
Matt Tevnin orchestrating the offense, giving the ball up to the forwards, but when it was time for him to make the space, he did it in bunches. 2 hands on the ball, open eyes at Casper, seen it was space and attacked it, and that gave him an opportunity to split the line and create a break for Justin Casper to get in again. But this line break from Harry Lloyd, the strength to get the offload to Terry Dunn. Terry had an opportunity to throw it out there, but safe play is best play, and we find ourselves with Matt Tevnin. He sees the space, and he attacks dead in front of him, takes out 2 defenders, and that's everything that Casper needed to score the 5. The friendly ghost himself gets 5 for the guys, the education major from New Jersey. The man who says he loves an apple fritter.
And look at Tevnin with his 4th conversion. Wow, he is efficient. He's having himself a man of the match already.
Yeah, you got to love the 2 hands on the ball, the manipulation of the ball to be able to get past that defender shooting in to make the tackle, and the one-handed offload. That is one of my nominees early on for play of the match. Casper sliding in for 5, secondary education major. And what an excellent bit of play from this side. Vermont extending their lead.
And Casper is a fellow Jersey boy, so, you know, you got the Jersey in there, man. The Dirty Jers here in Vermont. Restart taken by Vermont. They have the ball in a 28-point lead through the Catamounts, but they give it away in a penalty here. And that's against Casper, so we gave him the commentator's curse. We're talking him up, and then he gets binged for a penalty.
Well, that happens. That just showed this Norwich team is not here for any games. They're here for a fight. A player down 4 tries converted, still bringing the noise in every tackle. And you know, this is part of testing yourself as a championship team. The chips are down right now. The weather isn't good. You got a yellow card on the board. But getting these points here and showing that you have the determination, even when the chips are down, to make things happen, really builds you up as you head into the playoffs.
Would you have kicked for the post there? Is that a dumb question?
I think the kick for touch is appropriate with how strong their mauls have been.
All right, and they take the ball off the line out and spin it. Here's Jonda. He's been involved a lot tonight. They've tried to get him the ball. And there's just a drop under pressure. Peterson is not going to be happy with himself. Jake Peterson, yeah, that's just there's nowhere to go. You can't hide. You just got to just move on. Be a goldfish, right? As Ted Lasso would say.
The only way that he can hide is just in the fact that Norwich as a team has been doing this, knocking the ball on. They really haven't been able to have a sustained attack. This weather has affected them more than either team in this matchup. The fans seem to be less affected by this weather as Norwich has been.
There's a spinning scrum, and it's taken by Norwich, and they're driving forward. But that's going to be a high tackle. Clearly. You're not going to take the 3. They're going to play it. Go for it.
Just too much of a deficit to play it safe.
Okay. 6
run right into
6 out of there. Advantage.
Part of the Lion.
Not running away. Not running away. Advantage.
An advantage they're playing right now, so they've got some house money to play with. They're getting right there.
Outside,
Can they get in?
Outside. Get outside.
Smelling that first try, diving in, and yes, it's a try. Norwich makes Lance Cavanaugh look like a genius with that try.
They made themselves look like geniuses. The confidence, and that's how Vermont scored earlier. Had a great opportunity for sticks, decided to decline it, go for play, and Jake Peterson for Norwich able to put the first points on the board just by playing with a little bit more urgency and energy. Those 3 points aren't going to save you when you're down 28. Cut the lead a little bit more substantial going into this halftime, and Norwich give themselves something to build off of. But that advantage earlier from not rolling away, Sir Matthews on top of it, and when it's time to get into the try zone, Jake Peterson, the commissioned army man, shows us all he can be and gets 5 for Norwich.
And redemption after that knock-on, right? Right away. This is what the beauty of sport is and rugby is. And there's that. I think that's going to take us into halftime. Is that right? Let's see. But in the meantime, here's another look. Nope. We have that's misreading the clock, folks. We're still live. There's another look at that try. So you saw that. Now we have a new kicker for points, right? For Norwich, or do we? Let's see. That was number 13, Aiden Curry. He's responsible for posts, yeah. Again, they have their different guys doing different kicks. Well, it'd be interesting to see who does the restarts now that Mace is out. And Norwich takes that restart from Vermont, holds on to the ball despite being driven back, and that yellow card is now over, so the teams are at full strength. And wouldn't it be great if Vermont, in these if the cadets could get a couple of more points before they go into the shed.
Clock is off.
And they punch it downfield. And here comes a counter from the Catamounts. Good tackle from Kerr. Tevnin, he wants more. He pins him deeper. And it's a good bounce, and there it is, right into the hands. And into the try zone is Luca Rice. Wow.
There was no time on the clock. Clock is off is what was heard as Norwich kicked the ball for territory. If the ball gets off the park at any second, they go into halftime with a little bit of better situation. But Vermont taking every opportunity, and this is why their point differential throughout the year must have been the way that it is. Colin Green slips up, no worries, sets everything up for his side. He's been doing that greatly throughout this first half, and the space is on the far end. You got to catch the ball in the air, and if you let Luca race, get into the race, what a step off the right, and there is no stopping him with that much momentum and that close to the try line. Luca Race with a double brace going into half.
Wow. Well said. And the conversion is good again from Tevnin. No surprise there, but that'll take us into the half. And what a half it was. Not what we anticipated, but we'll see what we have coming in the second half, Lance.
Yeah, this. Look at this Vermont side, comfortable, breathing, relaxed. That try took a lot of weight off their shoulders. Norwich needs to find a way to really bring it back into the second half. Scary way to end the half for Norwich, but they have great opportunity in the second half. We'll see what they can do.
Indeed, we will see what they could do. But don't go away. We'll be back with more after this.
Consistency on three. 1, 2, 3.
In a sport of power and precision, you need a powerful and precise camera. Analyze your game. Build your team. Grow together.
Ready? Up.
Video captures moments. sport.
Rugby!
Hello and welcome back to the College Rugby Show. The fall season is upon us. We have a brand new division, now 4 men's divisions, 4 women's divisions. We've had that in 7s. We're going to be coming to you once every other week here in this video podcast form.
I'm excited for a season of telling college rugby's best stories.
We deserve to be here. We're going to keep, representing.
That was, to me, the biggest testament for the future of the game.
All right, Doran, after a third-place finish last year, how is this year different?
Well, sir, to be honest with you, I believe we have something to prove this year. It's tough to fall short, and this year every single guy on this team is hungry. We have a lot of freshmen who came in. We have multiple freshman starters, and we're a really young team. So we took everything that we've done in past years, fallen just short of success, and we found a way to build on that.
And we want to do well every weekend, and we didn't have the opportunity this year, but in practice we went hard, and so I think we're going to be able to put up a good fight for them, and they're going to have to put up a good fight against us as well.
Thanks. Good luck tonight.
Thanks very much.
Started the year at number 3, now number 10. How big is that chip on your shoulder?
It's pretty big. I mean, we're ready for a big game today. It's going to be tough competition. You just got to stay humble out there. You got to lead from the front. As a forwards captain, they're leaning on me. They're leaning on Duran. They're leaning on Joe. So just go out there, show them.
All right, Hank. Does it feel like the pieces are in place for a gold medal this year?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a senior this year. We've been 4 years in the making, just grinding it out. We got a huge senior class. We got all the pieces of the puzzle put together. We got a bunch of guys. We're dedicated. We're playing 6 days a week. We're putting it all on the line this year, and I really got a good feeling about this year.
Conditioning, a lot of defensive spread work, but that's where we focus about 75% of our practice, I think, and it's really paid off. So hopefully tonight we can get that defensive shutdown.
Bob, 25 years here at Norwich. How have you seen the club change in that time?
Wow, it's not necessarily the club has changed. Rugby across the world, and in America, particularly collegiate rugby, there weren't many full-time coaches when I first showed up, maybe a handful. Now they're all over the map, and it's just so excited that Norwich has been able to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak, in Division II. It's been great.
Speaking of that, this year, what have you noticed as the biggest changes from last year?
In our conference, we've had to forfeit a couple games, so some of the teams, their numbers were down a little bit, so that was disappointing. But in terms of our team, it's the youngest team that I've coached since I've been here, and last year was the oldest team I've coached. So it's quite a change, and we're looking forward to the challenge tonight. We haven't really been challenged, so see how they do under pressure.
And how confident are you in that challenge you'll face tonight?
I'm very confident to see them perform under pressure. And as I mentioned to someone else earlier today, that what I really look forward to is not the Saturdays or the Friday nights, is the Monday film session with the team. Because I was a teacher for 22 years before I came here. So I really, we pride ourselves on getting better from each game. We really haven't been challenged. So this is really almost like opening day for us with a new group. So it's going to be challenging. But
hey, welcome back. It's Friday Night Rugby on National Collegiate Rugby's Friday Night Edition, and we have a 33-5 score between Vermont and Norwich Lance, and it was an interesting first half.
Yeah, the score line might not show and really highlight how competitive this match is. Norwich have found their way. They're just making untimely mistakes. The weather is really affecting the game. You're seeing players like Will O'Shea spin and roll and get in. You're seeing right here, you're going to see Matt Tevnan with the inside step, one-hand release, giving Casper his second of the day. And it seems like this Vermont side has really been rolling. Vermont able to punch back, able to get in, leaning on their big guys to finish the try. Penalty advantage really gave them the confidence to go in. And immediately right after one bounce of the ball and that beautiful set of play that they made for themselves is erased when Luca raced. Right foot step, fin, and goes in with no time left on the clock. Luca did the race, and man, he has been playing exceptional today.
Yeah, and Tevnan just ruthless with that kick with no time left on the clock when all he had to do was kick it into touch, and they just went for more points. You'll like to see that going forward. And Lance, you know, our referees got the name Boo in it, Boo Matthews, right, on Halloween, and they're playing against Norwich. Just food for thought as we get started, as Norwich takes the ball on the start of our second half. And you can see that rain is still coming down. And Norwich needs some points, and they need it in a hurry. You know, get some confidence. They are a young team after all, and there's a big run in the middle of the field by the loping number 4. Jeff Papalardo. It's easy for me to say. And now playing scrum half is number 8, the try scorer, Peterson. Norwich looking for some phases. Try to maintain possession of that ball. Keep it out of Vermont's hands, certainly, because they have been lethal on offense. There's Janda. Carry, he's tackled. He's from Zimbabwe.
Advantage. Number 3
More interesting culture here in the college rugby landscape. Advantage being played. Peterson with the no look to Papadaro. And it's going to be a whistle.
Number 3
no
outside.
Advantage gained, so they're going to go back to the point of the initial infraction, and that infraction was offsides, Lance.
The break early on, Jeff P. finding himself free, able to get some defenders off. The All-American from 2024 showing exactly who he is, just putting himself into the game early in this half. You said they needed points. We both agree they need points. And the energy that Norwich has started this second half with seems like we are not done, ladies and gentlemen. This could be one of those scary comeback stories, a Halloween story of the ages if Norwich can keep this energy. The rain, the wind, the referee putting on a jacket, everything is lining up for this to be a very contentious second half.
That's right. Here's the line out taken by the Cadets. Papadaro. They're just looking to get as close to that try line as they possibly can, and they're getting right there, just inches away. And almost there, just not quite. Driving. Immovable objects against immovable objects, and it's spilled in contact. And it's a knock-on and turnover to Vermont. What defense. And heartbreak for Norwich simultaneously.
Great defense, but I'm not sure. Sorry, I want to let the ref speak. I mean, Norwich putting together phase play, pick and go, so close to the try line. But I'm not sure that was a knock-on. Punched out by a Vermont player on the pick and drive. I mean, look at the bodies collide near the goal line. Norwich fighting, clawing, biting. And with this right here, punched out off of the leg. Referee says knock on, but definitely hit out by a hand of a Vermont player.
Fine!
Again, you bring up a valid argument, my friend, as we have the scrum down and put in by McGovern. McGovern's had a good night, marching his team up and down the pitch, getting the ball, more importantly, into the hands of Tevnin, so he could do his damage, either passing or kicking or running. And there's a kick into touch. It'll be a line out to Norwich.
Green one.
And this is a good place for Norwich. If you're forced to reset, just outside the 22 is a great attacking platform. So much time left, and that energy and the momentum that you build, almost scoring in that last bit of phase play, needs to carry over into this bit of phase play. Let's see if Vermont can test on this line out, unlike they did the last one.
No compete, no compete.
There's the line out taken by Papalardo. Whiteside, Jonda. They're looking for some crack in that green defense. Some weakness. They haven't found it often tonight. Peterson has, though, and he's looking for his second try as he rumbles forward, the big number 8. Another good run from Kerr. Here comes Sonny Mamaro.
You're holding him down. You're holding him down. Sorry.
There's a little bit of a helicopter pass, but it's handled. And now here comes Jonda. Wisely takes the ball to the ground.
He got it. He got it.
You know, you don't want to make that extra pass if it's going to be a turnover, and there's the turnover anyway. And here come the Catamounts.
Step.
There's another look at that. Took it to the ground, very wise. But here's the counter now from Vermont.
Hold it. You're good? Okay, you're good. Brennan!
There's Tevnin. He's going to put Norwich under pressure again. See how they handle the counterattack. Well, that little hop, skip, start, step by John Kelly into contact, and it's rejected and picked up cleanly. Wow, what a play. What an exhibition of skill by Jack Warable. Now the substitution off the bench. Felix Levinson drops it, and it's a turnover. Advantage, knock-on advantage being played by Norwich. That's not the way you want to come off the bench, Lance.
Advantage over.
But look at that. Great play by Warable. And now Norwich with a counter. It's Wytrick. It's back and forth. You know, one turnover after the next, but Vermont has capitalized more. And they keep putting the younger Norwich team under pressure, under duress defensively. And there's a big rumble by the number 1, Joe Shermer, the freshman who's contracted with the U.S. Navy. You know, 60% of these students at Norwich end up in some branch of the military, and actually ROTC started at Norwich in 1916 as we go back to the penalty. Not rolling away is the call.
ROTC started in Norwich in 1960. That explains why so many of these players. 1916, excuse me. That explains why so many of these players are commissioned to the military. Very, 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 very patriotic group of gentlemen on this side. Norwich able to get the ball back, able to get a penalty. They can find themselves inside the 22, putting themselves again in prime position that they had at the very beginning of this half, but unable to get it out of bounds.
Yeah, you want to get that. You got to make those kicks. But they'll figure it out. Oh, is it stolen? It looks like it might be, yes. He was over the ball, and you didn't release, so it'll be a penalty awarded to Vermont. Folks, when you get tackled in rugby, you got to let go of the ball, and when you're the tackler, you got to roll away so the other guy can get up, or other girl can get up.
And right on the sideline, pushing and moving players out of the way, Luca races to the ball, gets 2 hands and refuses to release, able to secure the turnover for his side. Again, Vermont, more tenacious in physical points, have been leading the charge, but Norwich have fought back a bit. Physicality not so tipped to Vermont, but initiative is tipped to Vermont. They are bringing the noise and with intention, and that's led to this 33-7 match that we have right now.
You know, and Coach Joey Bessel of Vermont did say that, you know, his team does the basics well, and that was textbook of how to get over a ball and keep on your feet right there. And there's a bobbled line out and ends up in a green jersey, so Vermont steals it. And they just keep coming. They're just one green wave after the next. Peterson with an attempt at a clear out. Didn't work. Nice big rumble from the number 8. Legere. A lot of these Vermont players have had good matches tonight. It's going to be tough for you to pick a player of the match later on, Lance. So I'm just saying that's why you get the big bucks.
It's a couple people leading the race, hint, so far today.
I think I know where you're going, but we'll leave the intrigue till later. In the meantime, Norwich, they're not done.
Outside 22.
They're still plugging away. You know, when you're a young player, you just want to get that next chance. They're not thinking about the last one. There's a kick, a little chip taken by one of the bigger guys on the pitch. And he's eventually wrestled to the ground. There's Tevnin. Casper dodges and fends off. And was that a no-look behind the look pass, or was that a tip? Doesn't matter because it's turned over. And there's the clearing kick from Brendan Smith. Brandon Smith.
It looks like it was just punched out in the tackle. On the wrap, he was able to get his hands on the ball and pull it around. Nothing on purpose, just punched out on the tackle. But again, this Norwich side isn't giving up the fight. They aren't slowing down. They're trying to play even tactically, using the kicking boot when they can. But they just have to find a way to solidify phase play to get points. They got to cut out the mistakes, the handling errors. Norwich has shown a lot. They've shown why they're undefeated so far this season, but Vermont just has been showing a little bit more. Let's see if Norwich can push the ball down the field and make this game even more interesting as it carries on.
All right, here we go. Here's the scrum down. We have a couple of substitutions. We'll try to get those to you in a moment. But that's going to be a collapsed scrum, and it's going to be a penalty to Vermont.
Red cap
So there's a little conference.
Remember what I said at the beginning of the scrum? There has to be a hook. You're sending it also straight to the second row. If he doesn't hook it, it's technically your fault, but I have to call him for it. So make sure he has a chance to hook the ball when you feed it, okay? Yes, sir. Back down, please.
Doran Schwartz getting some words.
And this is the second penalty Vermont has gotten off the scrum. Ball bounces up on the feed, and once the ball goes in, just immediate collapse. And now again, Vermont on the front foot. Tevnin able to get them right around the 15-meter-ish line. This is a great setup moment for Vermont. We haven't really seen them in this situation. So close to the try zone. A great opportunity to open up the entire playbook. What have they been working on? This is a schoolyard moment. What they're going to bring to the practice field to us right now on this Halloween.
And, you know, Zach, I beg your pardon, Lance, one thing that's, you know, been showing that it's pretty clear the advantages. 1 through 8, the positions 1 through 8 for Vermont are all seniors.
Seniors, yeah.
You know, I mean, that's tough to go against. That's that continuity. You know your teammate. Meanwhile, here they go. They're just driving downfield. Here's McGovern. Gets it to Casper. Casper dances in traffic, but good defense from those cadets. They just do not quit.
Hold it there. Okay, you're good.
And there's Tevnin again. Now he's looking on the outside to try to get the ball in the hands of 14, and it's taken and cut down by Whiteside.
Goal line.
So goal line drop.
5-meter mark is offside.
And I mean, speaking of what you said earlier, the advantage and that they really have. The seniors, everyone having this continuity, but they have an understanding. They've been going for this crossfield kick the entire match. Paid dividends at the end of the half. Gave them a great defensive opportunity earlier in this half. They seem to all have an understanding what the next man's job is, what they will and might do, and it's given them great success this season and in this game.
Zan Rice with a run. Now he gets the ball off, and here's number 15 bursting up the middle, Colin Green. And again, you could just name so many different players for Vermont. Have had a great match tonight.
Let it come, let it come, let it come.
Whether it be defensively or offensively, and there's another penalty, not releasing.
No release. No release.
I mean, so much can be said about the mentality of this team. When you pointed out they were all seniors, the one thing that jumped into my mind was there's no tomorrow for this squad. This year has to be the year that they figure it out together. They do have a freshman at scrum half. They do have a freshman at fullback. But everyone else, 1 through 15, outside of those two players, are senior or grad student. So this is the end of the road for these gentlemen. They seem to have that urgency as they continue to play this matchup. We're still locked in. We have a bigger dream, bigger purpose later on, and it's paying off for them and how this match is going.
Great point. Great point. Conversely, it's a great experience and a great learning experience for the younger cadets. And, in the coming years. So, you might see that pendulum shift yet again as the knock-on advantage was being played.
Right in front of you.
And another thing Vermont seems to be doing is they starting to open up the playbook. We've seen them go line out to the middle of the field with a pack in the center of the field. They go out the back, have a crash line around it, and it gave Casper opportunity to make something happen. Tackle is there, unfortunately.
Coach!
Well, fortunately, because that just shows you're playing against a team of standard. But it seems as though they're starting to kick into their playbook a little bit, get a little bit more comfortable, not playing so tight and rigid. And again, the scrums might be an issue for Norwich.
From what I could see, both of you went down this reset.
Sir, I'm feeling a tiny crank from them on there.
Referee giving instructions. The scrum might be an issue for Norwich in this matchup. 2 penalties already, and a confident Vermont side who are just happy with the clock ticking the way that it has been. 33-7 isn't as lopsided as their matches throughout the years, but a win is a win. A win is a win, and looks like Vermont has been pushing themselves further and not coasting, but really gliding to a very convincing win. Norwich has work to do.
And, just going back to that little conversation between referee Matthews and Captain Doran Schwartz. Schwartz's team is losing, but, he did manage a smile and a little chuckle there. I mean, after all, this is a game, and we're supposed to have fun. Right, and there's a kick into touch.
And it doesn't hurt that the implications don't result in your year season ending. That is not a knock, but doesn't result in your season ending. Both teams have a tomorrow as far as this being a regular season ending and then the conference championship, and both teams seem to be poised to go to the playoffs. So this really is a great test for them, win, lose, or draw. And it shows in the attitude if you're down 7-33 and you still can find room to smile and be appreciative.
Exactly. And, you talk about the championships. The nation's top college teams are ready to make history. Regional championships begin November 14th and set the stage for the Women's National Championship December 6th through the 7th and the Men's National Championships December 12th through the 14th. Who will rise to the top? Schedules and brackets available on ncr.rugby. And here come the cadets. That's Peterson. Presents the ball. Dug out from the base there. Now it's a nice run in traffic again. 13, Aiden Kerr with the final carry, taking it to the ground. Good defensive play there by Vermont.
Second defender. Backwards.
Right side trying to get his guys going. There's Jonda. You get the feeling that he's just going to want to break one of those in tight runs sooner or later. On it. Was it knocked?
Ball's inside.
Nope. Ball was in play. Offside is the call, so it'll be another break for Norwich. See what they can do.
Jonesy.
That right there is a crazy occurrence. Let's listen to the sir.
Okay. Just diving in. Yeah, that was just diving in. You have a bunch of penalties. Okay. They're attacking. I'm gonna have to some point pull out a card. Yeah. So just talk to them. 10 seconds, quick.
The ball was in the hands of the scrum half, but kicked by his own teammates out of his hands. The scrum half had already picked the ball up, and it was kicked out of his hands. So the Vermont player, thinking the ball is out, dove over into the ball, which you couldn't do regardless, right? Emerging balls or anything like that, you can't dive on the ball if it's within a meter of the ruck, says the laws. But that indicated for the Vermont player to attack the ball, stepped on and kicked out of his hand. Vermont coming around and around the side. I love the heads up from this Vermont player. I didn't get a number, didn't get a name, but I love the heads up, being attentive. Here it might not work and be a penalty, but later on in the season, that could be a turnover for your squad.
That's right.
Good energy.
And another learning moment. All right, now Norwich doing the old caterpillar. But Peterson takes it himself. Playing scrum half. And that would be a formidable scrum half, seeing him line up against you. And diving forward, they're just trying to incrementally get closer and closer.
He dove!
And again, they are meeting next week, so these waning moments mean something. And right there, in for his second try, Peterson again. And you can see Norwich is pumped.
I don't think Norwich thinks this game is over. I think Norwich understands they still have a game to play. They still have a fight to make. And Jake Peterson, steps up again for his side. How well coaches this Norwich side on these pick and goals, diving at legs, getting those meters, really pushing this Vermont team back. And when it was time to give it to the big guy in space, he scored off the pick and goal. Now he scored off crashing it in. The man is doing everything for his side and no real enthusiasm. He knows more work to do. The grind is still active for JP. I love how the back celebrated and the forwards kind of didn't, but 5 points is 5 points. And this kick right here means so much after the first missed conversion. They need all the points they can get, 2 at a time if they can.
Here's Aiden Kerr. Kick is up. Flag stayed down. And that was 20 minutes of scoreless rugby that we just witnessed. Amazing after what we've seen so far. But here's Peterson again, Lance.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I'm starting to think that Vermont might be getting hit a little bit, might be slowing down a little bit. The same energy that they've shown line speed-wise throughout the match was not active that close to the try line. That is a sign. You need to get off that defensive line and put pressure on this attacking side.
And getting back to our earlier conversation, Peterson commissioning into the Army. So we want to thank him in advance for his service. Oh, almost knocked forward. Was it? Yes, it was. So it'll be a knock on and just another unfortunate turnover after a positive for Norwich.
2 steps forward, 1 step back. Norwich has found themselves in a similar situation throughout this matchup. Do a lot of good, something bad kind of takes away from it. In the space that they have right now, this is the wrong time to give Vermont the ball, especially in a scrum, especially around the 15-meter. This is prime attacking position. There are literally coaches on the World Rugby stage who have a job because they can set up attacks from this position right here.
Yeah.
Let's see what Vermont has for themselves.
Well, you got Tevnin and Casper standing next to each other. And it's a penalty awarded. McGovern thought he was gone, and he's coming back. Does the quick tap ever work? It seems referees just blow it dead all the time.
Well, you got to see it. As a referee, you got to see the tap. You have to see them near or around the mark. You can give a little space, a little, ground maybe, but you got to see it with your eyes. And that's twice that it's been a quick tap that he didn't have his eyes on. Bring it back, please. Let's set back up here. And Vermont's going to go for the line out.
Tevnin boots it into touch. It'll be a line out for Norwich.
No, that was inside the try zone.
Oh.
They have options. They have options. Scrum or 22 dropout is the options after going straight into touch from there, and they opted for the scrum.
Thank you.
Let's see if Matthew's seen it. Nope, behind the ref. The ref is never going
Yeah.
to give that if he doesn't see it.
Just keep your hips on the shoulder.
And Norwich did it earlier. Now Vermont's doing it. And that kick out of bounds gives Vermont a great opportunity. This is about space. Get the ball, kick the ball, play defense, set up for the next opportunity, because the mistakes are now starting to pile up on Vermont more than Norwich.
Norwich has the ball, and
One coming up. Number
the
one
penalty.
coming up.
Number 1 was coming up. So popping up in that scrum was the prop for Vermont. And there's the kick into touch. And it'll be a line out to Norwich. So here we go. Let's see what they can do with it.
And already you can see it's an elbow down before the ball is even put. Referee has to, as far as safety go, has to make that call. But for here, Norwich has been really winning a lot of these offensive lineouts. And Vermont isn't contesting on the jump or in the maul. They contested there. And this is going to be a great setup for Norwich here.
One of the substitutions in is number 19, Finn Peters for Vermont out of Chatham, New Jersey. He's scared of the game wardens when he's fishing. Another one of my Jersey boys. There's Janda. He's a big unit in the middle of that back line, and I'm looking forward to see what he does next week in the same matchup. It's another look at the big hits all night long. As Whiteside runs and gets some support. Looked like he might have been isolated a little bit, but they got there quickly, to their credit. The Cadets did. Presenting it to the ground. There's the feed. A barreling run from Mamaro.
Backwards.
Out of Ashbury, New Jersey. A lot of Jersey guys.
Let's come, let's come.
Now Norwich. You know, Lance, they just keep coming. They don't quit. Gotta love that.
Yeah, and Vermont is the same way defensively. Able to get the turnover after finding multiple players isolated through that set of phases. Vermont finally gets the turnover. Neither team has any quit in them, Matt.
Yeah, and right now,
and here.
Just go ahead.
Now this ball being put in, that is a tight pass to make. And it looks like he's over the ball clean. I don't know if it was a not rolling away situation, but Matthews, the sir, is right over top of it. As we get the tackle,
Sorry, over here. Here's your mark.
tackler says has hands on the ball, even though there's a defender on the ground near the ball. That didn't stop or have any issue with the Vermont player getting hands on the ball. Turnover, and now Vermont has an opportunity to attack.
Backwards!
That was a good call on the non-call for the knock-on because it hit him in the chin first, and now it doesn't matter because it's a penalty for not releasing the ball against Vermont, and Norwich has it. What do you think of that rain coming down there, Lance? You glad we're inside?
I love the fact that we're inside. It's so dry here, but also the leg drive on that on that ruck didn't actually get the poacher away from the ball, able to hold his position, able to stand his ground. And Norwich, again, the fighting spirit of this team, in the rain, in the wind, in the cold, continue to push forward. 21 points isn't insurmountable.
On you.
I thought you were breaking into a country song there. In the rain, one of those. But anyway, line out taken by Norwich. Charging downfield.
Hold.
See if they can get to that next try.
Rocked off, rocked off.
Looking on the outside. Again, some great defense. That looked like Wrestler coming up fast. There's Casper, rather, coming up on defense. There's the former cheerleader who spent time in the sin bin, Hammonds, number 5 with a run.
He was in the way.
And you hear the referee telling exactly what's going on. He was in the way. Again, it's kind of a professorial role for referees in the college game. helping these players along. And Matthews has been doing a good job of that tonight. That's knocked in contact by Janda, and it's turned over and into touch. We'll go back to where the knock-on was. Scrum down Vermont.
Big hit. Big hit. Found himself one-on-one and maybe even one-on-two, but tried to attack, tried to go over the top for the offload and ran into the wrong people.
Yeah.
Ran into the wrong bodies. As a back, you do not want to run into missing. He'll have your ribs missing. And he was
let me
able to
run
get
into
underneath
contact
the
with
ball
my hands above my head.
Against a 4-pack. That is a recipe for your ribs turn into dust. You'll end up like a Halloween skeleton. But
brave.
one thing it's very brave. And then, on a day like Halloween, what better day to be brave? But one thing that also needs to be pointed out is Norwich hasn't had an opportunity to really break the line against Vermont unless they have moments of sophistication where they throwing quick pop passes and they have the forwards running these direct lines whenever they set themselves up for something. But in open play, Vermont is able to set up defensively, move in and make big hits. Substitutes coming in with the energy. This Vermont side looks like they have depth as they prepare for these playoffs.
10:30 on my clock. Crouch!
All right, so it looks like
Bind!
Looks like Tavnan is just showing us he's even more skilled than we thought. Now he's moved into 9. He's playing scrum half. And by the way, number 22, Sam Lowenberg came in, and it took 3 people to get his jersey, intact. These tight jerseys, you got to hold them down. Somebody else has to pull it up. And the third has to referee and make sure it's okay. There's a whistle. In the meantime, time is off. We're going to have a conversation, perhaps.
Green, scrum over here, scrum.
It might be an injury thing. He was on the ground when the tackler tripped and fell and just couldn't get up, and the referee, just for safety precautions, there he goes chasing. There's a trip and fall. He finds himself falling on the ground on top of the ball carrier, grabs at the ball a little bit, releases, but the minute he rolls away, Aiden Kerr just knew he wasn't getting up. Referee was able to see the scene clearly from a distance and safety. And it looks like it's when he's running there and that right foot right there took a kick to the ribs on the up kick. Tried to play a little rugby, but had to take a second. And it's just the rain and the conditions. There's so much going on, man.
Come on, it ain't tennis, Lance. Come on. Rub some dirt on it.
I'm just saying, you still got to live in it. Regardless of if this isn't that sport, you still got to deal with the weather. And everyone's bundled up and none of the players are, I'm so glad we're in the dryness, so don't worry.
Yeah, me too. And you know what? You can't rub some dirt on it because it's an artificial surface. So I apologize. But the ball's in.
Rub pellets on it.
Yeah, exactly. There's Tevnin out to Casper. Jasper. I keep calling him Casper. It's Jasper. Oh, it is Casper. I'll get it right sooner or later. But in the meantime, getting it right is number 15, Colin Green, just not being able to be tackled. Nobody can bring him down. And straight up the gut, another big run from Vermont.
Number 5!
So maybe those Norwich tacklers are starting to get a little weary. And there's Casper with a kick. And it disappears into the try zone. Who's got it? Norwich, but it was knocked on first. Here we go. We were playing with house money on the penalty. 5 was offside, so we're coming back. Casper takes the quick tap. That's how you do it. You show the ref, here, I'm doing it. And there's a little squib kick. Taken by number 16, Owen Bullion. Oh, and a good kick under pressure. Into the rain, into the wind, and into touch to help his team out. Great kick by Norwich.
And they're really going to the boot. We just watched Casper on 2 different occasions get the kick in the ball. The minute he comes in, he's putting the boot to the ball. First, the kick that was the penalty. He gets the ball back, goes quick just to get around the corner and try to grub to the corner. They're playing loose, Vermont, and I think they're trying to open it up a little bit, have some fun.
Yeah, they're having some fun, and he's having some fun right there. Nobody's going to stop him. Number 2 rumbling forward. That's missing. And he gets it into pop. Who's number 5? That's Lloyd. Lloyd gets a try. Rewarding his hard work tonight. Big
Harry
smiles.
to Harry and 5 points for the scary Vermont side. First, Harry missing, gets the line break, looking like an absolute tank. Look at the beast run, splitting this Norwich defense down the middle. And just like the Wicked Witch, getting crushed by this Vermont foundation, this house, this brick house that Vermont are. Lloyd going in to put the ball down, senior to senior. And that makes it even more special. The guys that were with you from the beginning, putting up points, extending the lead against an undefeated side.
Yeah, one of those guys that does the lunch pail stuff, the blue collar, the not in the box score stuff. And he's in the box score with that try as Tevnin lines up another kick. Can he do it again? You bet he can. Wow, he has been unbelievable from the tee tonight. But here's that great run, Lance.
And just think, if you allow this man to run through the middle of the field, no matter what effort multiple players put in, if you let him run free, someone big, strong, and fast are going to get their hands on the peel, and they're going to put you under even more pressure. Harry to Harry, and now Norwich are even in a more hairy situation, unable to really deal with the deficit they've been under, and Vermont's been finding incremental ways to add to it.
All right, Vermont gets the ball back, and that was a substitute. That was Lowenberg that took it, but also a substitution on the other side. Number 19, Tyreek Green in, the sophomore cybersecurity major out of Shirley, Vermont, for the cadets. But I've been dying to ask you this one question all night. Since it's Halloween, if the fans are booing, are they showing their displeasure? Well, hold on. We have a chase here. Norwich. Are they voicing their displeasure, or are they trying to scare us?
I think that's a cheer. I think just for the circumstances, festively, that's a cheer. See, you will boo that forward pass. Boo!
No, you just scared me. See, you just scared me.
I'm sorry, my mistake. It's one of those days, I guess. But again, Norwich, opportunity after the kick, able to get some go forward, able to get around the corner. Simple mistake. Whether it's a knock on, in this case, it's a forward pass. Norwich have found themselves in this game. They have been competitive, but the team with the most mistakes is the team that's down on the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen.
That was your most professional pivot from my bad jokes that we have had this evening, by the way. Well done. As Tevnin, arguably the player of the match, now playing scrum half, gets it out into his back line, and there's a little kick up in the air by Zan Rice. But Norwich comes away with it, or no, they don't. Let's see. It's going to be a knock-on against Norwich and a scrum down to the Catamounts.
I mean, we just got to call it what it is. What a brilliant strategy. With the weather conditions, they have been choosing to go to the boot, and it's been working out beautifully for this Vermont team. I'm actually pretty impressed by the way that they've been just choosing to go to it again and again, and it's working out for them. Whether the pressure or the turnovers or the points at the end of the first half, the Vermont boot is really controlling this match.
And there's Tevnin. Taps, puts it in. Ball spills out. He kind of throws a ground ball, but right there is Casper. He just appears out of nowhere and just driving forward.
He's down!
You can thank me later for that one, Lance. And here comes another good run from the Catamounts. Did you know what a Catamount was prior to preparing for this match, Lance?
No, I did not. I'm still actually trying to fully figure out where it fits in the cat family.
All right, we'll work that out later in the post-production debriefing. But in the meantime, there's some really good play going on, some big sticks. There's Peterson. He's got 2 tries, but it's taken away from him in contact. And one of the substitutes off the bench for Vermont, that's Aiden Clarity. Oh, well taken by number 19, Finn Peters. Not an easy pass to handle. It was a rocket.
Still advantage. Advantage over.
Now moving at that 15, at that 10 position is Casper, and he does a nice little kick, putting again Norwich under pressure. This time it was done, and he held on.
The priority for the coach is it has to be a clean roll. Sophie, what were you calling? Not releasing. First, penalties reversed, not releasing.
Oh, wow! You rarely see that. The lobbying from Doran Schwartz, the hooker and captain, got the referee to consult with his assistant referee, and great refereeing right there, Lance.
He's been really leaning on those assistant referees, but if you want to call not releasing, that is pretty much as textbook of a not releasing as I've seen. Never really cleared and gave the ball carrier on the ground an opportunity to release the ball, kept hands and body attached for the entirety of the jackal. And the referee leaning to his ARs is beautiful. That is what you need. There's two teams on the field, and there's an additional team, that referee team, and they're showing up a little bit in this matchup.
I'll tell you what, Doran Schwartz, the captain and hooker that did the lobbying there, he should be a lobbyist instead of a cybersecurity guy, because that was not an easy thing to do. Referees never want to go. In the meantime, Norwich's teammates now have the ball, but they don't have the ball. They have a penalty advantage. High tackle, I think,
call,
was
just
the call.
a seatbelt. Yeah, just a seatbelt tackle. No real danger. Good call.
UVM, team warning, UVM.
You got the warning from the referee. Like that, too. There it is. You got to get down further on that tackle. Got to go cheek to cheek.
Three.
Number 21 is in for the Cadets. That's Dylan Hay.
Backs on the red advancing before the line out is out.
Dylan Hoy.
You also had too many in the line out. We're going to reset and do a line out. Okay? You guys had too many. Your backs are advancing too fast. We're resetting. They had too many. Your backs advanced too fast. I'm just going to call it off.
Negated penalties as if it's, football I've never seen, but I appreciate it. I respect it. I love an orchestra as a referee. I love it.
And that was thrown in by Schwartz, the captain, again, the hooker. He's also a lieutenant in the Army. He'll be commissioning as a second lieutenant in the Army. I beg your pardon. We want to thank him as well. Ball is spilled in contact.
This might be a red. That's a second yellow potentially.
Number 5.
Same situation, just not getting low on the tackle.
Second yellow card and red card right now. I'm choosing not to. Okay? I know you're new. I need you to keep the tackle slow. You could be red card right now.
And I know you're new.
Got it?
Yeah.
Back 10.
Lance, what do you think of that call, Lance?
1 second.
As a referee, no comment. As a fan of rugby, and a fan of what these gentlemen got going forward, don't get that man a red. That affects the rest of the season, but it is something they do have to talk about and deal with.
All right, something we have to talk about and deal with is you picking a player of the match as Vermont with a statement win, 40-12 on the road against Norwich. Lance, first off, who's your player of the match?
Well, if I had to pick a player of the match, which I do, I'm going to pick the player who was cold the entire game, absolutely frozen, doing everything he can for his team. He did the race multiple times, and because I'm partial to wingers, the business marketing major and senior from Vermont, Luca Race, is my player of the match.
I did not see that one coming. I thought it was going to be Tevnin all the way, but you're the man. You know, who's going to argue with you? All right, so Lance, we're going to come back.
And I mean, if we're talking about just attack and play, earlier in the match, missing shows up. And it really was Matt Tevnin who really controlled the matchup. He did everything for his side. He was the hockey assists on a lot of tries. You got McGovern finding space and getting in. You got Will O'Shea having a day, double spin, and he's in. Multiple moments from multiple players from this Vermont side. To give a player to match the one player is almost criminal. But look at this, over the top and one-handed flip to Casper, who shows up and disappears and reappears on the other side. But Norwich wasn't scared. They gave it to JP, and he does what he does, getting 2 on the day for his side. And the Norwich team has real energy, and they have a lot to look forward to in these next couple matchups, including conference championships very, very soon next week. The man himself, Luca, off the right leg, finding himself after the crossfield kick. And again, like I said, Norwich didn't slow down, didn't stop. They continued to fight. But Harry missing shows up again. And what a beautiful matchup for this Vermont side. So many tries, so many great moments, Matt. What a Friday night.
That's right. And it's deja vu again, all over again for these two squads next week as they play again. But on behalf of National Collegiate Rugby, Lance Kavanaugh, Next Level Rugby, I'm Matt McCarthy. We'll see you next week for Friday Night Rugby.